If you're thinking of buying EasyVSL, or you're looking for a discount, or just want to know if it's right for you or you're going to make the right decision in buying it, then you're in the right place. Hi, my name is Ilya VP from videosandpersuasion.com, and to be honest, when I first got EasyVSL, I was not impressed. In fact, my first review video I've ever done on it, I told that you probably shouldn't buy the program, but I've since changed my mind after creating about 120 videos. As you can see, I think it's 120 something, and I'll explain why and whether you should buy it or not, because I firmly believe now that EasyVSL is one of the best VSL programs out there. In fact, it's better than Vidnami in a lot of aspects, but it's also worse than Vidnami in other aspects, so it all depends on your needs, and I'll go through all of that in this video. I'll go through all the features, I'll go through the Kinetic Templates, I'll show everything from the beginning to end, I'll discuss some of the discounts and explain whether or not you should get it. But if you're just here for the discount, then I have good and bad news. The good news is that sometimes there are discounts for EasyVSL, but the bad news is that they're very, very rare. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to mention anything in this video because the discount may be gone by the time you're watching this. But if you look in the description below, there's going to be a link to the video, to the EasyVSL text review on videosandpersuasion.com. If you click on that link, look at the top of the webpage when you land there. If you see any information about the current EasyVSL discount, that means there's a bigger discount than usual. If there's nothing there, then that means there's no current discount, so you can either wait for 1, 2, 3, sometimes even 5, 6 months for the discount, or you can buy it right now. I know it's unfortunate, but that's pretty much how it is. Anyway, let's dive into the actual review, because I'm sure if you're here for the review, you're wondering, is EasyVSL actually good? So creating it is very simple. Click New VSL, and you can select two things: start from scratch or paste text. Most people are going to do the paste text option. That's what I've always used. And you can choose the style, classic or kinetic. I'll demonstrate the classic style first, because this is the default plain text VSL that you're going to be creating. And spoiler alert, kinetic style is not that good, and I do not recommend purchasing that extra add-on. It is not worth it. Once you click that, press OK. It lets you select from what designs you want to use. Now, there's a ton of designs. As you can see, there's, just general ones. There's some kind of frames, basically. I've pretty much only used the color or just the default like strip line, colorful tile, sometimes the gradient, but I'm going to just use the color one for this one and make the text color just black. You can also add a custom theme, basically just adding a permanent background image, but I've not done that, and I don't think most people are going to need to do that just because these are pretty standard. They're fine. You can also, of course, change the font, change the slide animation, and change the text color. Once that's done, this is where you paste in your script. Now, I'm going to paste in a script that's not really VSL design, but it works. I've created an animated video from it before. And as you can see, everywhere there's a red thing, EasyVSL has added a new slide. So all of this text will be on one slide, all this text will be on the other, etc., etc. Now, you're looking at this and you're probably seeing the same thing that I saw when I first started, is that it only creates new slides based on just new lines, which is not really that great, because, some slides might have just like one sentence and others might have 3, 4, 5 sentences on it. And this can be annoying, but also what I found is that editing this is much faster than editing this within Content Samurai, or within Vidnami, excuse me. Content Samurai is the old name for Vidnami. Because in Vidnami, you have to edit it inside the actual slide editor. Here, you can edit it right here. So let me just show you what I mean. Usually, I would just go down the line and just kind of go like this, right? Find places where a new slide needs to happen and just do this. And this does seem like it's taken a little bit of time, but it's actually pretty fast, especially when you're not trying to talk and describe what you're doing, because usually you kind of find a line where you want the text to be, right? Like this is going to be the where I'm drawing my cursor, that's going to be the limiting line, so everything past that needs to be gone. And then I just find a point where it would make sense to divide it up. right? So I would go here, maybe here, and I would just keep going down the page until everything is done. So I'm gonna finish that there. I'm not gonna create the entire thing because this is good enough for you to see what it actually looks like. And then I just press the auto and it will automatically add slide marks right here. Now, if you have someone writing this for you, you can just ask your copywriter to try to format it like this. But in reality, this is actually faster than Vidnami, because in Vidnami, what I found is it splits things up for you automatically. The AI does it for you, but oftentimes you have to actually go through and divide it all up, go through all the slides and divide them up yourselves. Whether EasyVSL, you can do it all here. So once you're done with that, press next. Now it lets you preview things and basically you see what each slide is going to have. Press next, and then it creates all of the slides. As you can see, the first ones are pretty good. And then when I stop editing them, there's some slides that have a little bit too much text. So in that case, maybe you don't like that. You can just duplicate the slide. And then in the second one, remove, let's say, the first part, center that again. And then here, remove the last part. But I would recommend making these edits beforehand. Now, as you can see, this is kind of boring. This is kind of bland. So I'm going to spice it up a little bit, right? I'm going to change the slides theme. But before that, I'm going to select bulk actions and then change the slides theme. And I'm going to make it this one. And as you can see, that changes the theme for all the slides. That's what the bulk editor does. The same thing can be applied to the text. If you select bulk actions and you decide to change the text, if you decide to make it bigger, if you decide to make it smaller, if you decide to make it bold or not bold, all of the slides will change with it if you have this selected. You can also add some effects, some blur, some scramble effects. Lets you preview it. This can be good if you need to actually kind of highlight certain things. And of course, what EasyVSL is best at, which Vidnami doesn't let you do, is it lets you move everything around. So let's say maybe you want to have a little more text. That's kind of warning text, right? Warning. I can't type because I can't actually see my keyboard because my microphone is in the way. But maybe you want to have something like this as the top of it. Vidnami would not let you have multiple text elements in one slide. And you can even add, of course, images. And let's say alert or emergency. That's not what I want. Now, it searches from Pixabay, so not everything's going to be perfect, right? Not all of these are going to be fit well, but you can just find images on Unsplash or other tools and import them into here, let's say from my images. Let's just select something like red light and see if that works better with this. Red light. Okay. Stop. That's better. And then you can either stretch, zoom, or letterbox. I always just letterbox because that kind of gives you the default size. And then you can edit it if you want and put it whatever you want. Now, this may not seem like a huge thing, but the thing is, a lot of Vidnami doesn't let you do that, and no other tool actually lets you do that, specifically for VSL creation. And this is huge for creating text-based or image-based VSLs because Vidnami just lets you have text on one side, image on another, or image on the background, which is great, but not perfect. Now, what else can you do? You can add a watermark, which is usually just a logo, add an image, add text, align everything within the slide, change the text. You can change the formatting of all the text, of course. Make that italicized, make that bolded and underlined. I forget what this button does. Oh, this is where the text is kind of read or seen from. And then you can also add some sounds. There's not a lot, but you can add your own and change the layout, which this is basically what Vidnami has, right? Left, right, left, top, bottom, or bottom, top. Now, let's skip past this because this is pretty much what the editor does, right? You can edit all of these slides. And then there's the timeline. Now, this is kind of the big thing. I'm going to import some audio in here, but I'm going to pause it because I don't know where that audio is. And once I add it, I'm going to continue. Alright, so as you can see, I have my audio imported. I have the video here, and of course, I can also add some more audio. I can either import it, record it straight in EasyVSL, which I don't do personally because I want my audio to sound a little bit better. So I edit it with Audacity before importing it in here. But if you want to record it just straight in here and you need to get it done very quickly, this is the best option. And text-to-speech, I personally never use. I hate robot voices, but they do have this option if you want to do it. And there is a way to get a free account. I don't even have the API inputted because I never use it. Let's see. Now change duration, make it as short as possible. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because, as you can see, the length of the video right now is longer than the actual audio. And now I can click on auto speech recognition. And this part, you will have to do a little bit of work. You'll have to click here to get a free account. Create a free account. This is separate from EasyVSL. So after you purchase EasyVSL, you have to create an account with IBM Watson. And that's what you actually use for Why is this Chinese Mandarin? Interesting. But that's what you actually use for automatically syncing audio. And this audio syncer, if you speak clearly, even if you have a little bit of an accent, something's a little bit unclear, it's nearly 100% perfect. But of course, it's nearly 100% perfect if you say actually what you're saying in the slides. If the text in the slides and your voiceover differ strongly, it's not going to do as great. So then I just press OK, and it's going to first convert it, send to the server, and then it's going to sync it. Usually this takes about anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. This could take probably 15 seconds because it is pretty short. Usually I create videos that are a little bit longer, but either way, I'm going to pause this here and continue when it is synced. All right, it is done. So let's preview and see how it looks and how it did.
Have you ever had problems reaching your goals, even though you're working harder than ever? A couple of years ago, I wasn't progressing at the gym at all. I looked and
As you can see, it pretty much synced everything properly. And then these ones right here, I assume are weird because they're super long slides. So it still synced them, but the slide is super long because it is a super long slide. Now, sometimes you might have to go through, let's say everything's synced and maybe there is one slide that looks, let's say this slide, that looks a lot longer than everything else, but the text is actually short. Then that might be because the slide starts a little too early or ends a little late. Usually that's like 1 out of 100 slides that I see this for. And usually it's because the slide and the voiceover differ a little bit and then it doesn't catch all the differences. But then you can also do it like this. If you don't want to use auto speech recognition, which you should because one, it's free. So you might as well. I think it's free up to 600 minutes per month or something like that. Might even be 1,000 at this point. But two, why wouldn't you do it? But if you really want to do it manually, you can remove all markers and then you can start from the beginning, play it, and as it plays, you can add
goals, even though
slides
you're working
at different points based on what you hear.
Simply wasn't sleeping.
So as you can see, wherever I click the new slide button, it put the start of that slide right there. So you can do that manually also. I don't see why you would because you do have this free auto speech recognition, but that is an option. And then once you publish, you save it and you publish. Yeah, they're unsynced, that's fine. You have options for quality or, faster encoding, smaller file size, metadata enabled. I usually go for better quality, but if your video is really long, and I'm talking like 30 plus minutes, sometimes there is a bit of a desync between the audio and the video that happens. So in that case, you have to select worse quality because it just slowly happens over time. So at the beginning it's synced, 10 minutes in it's a little desynced, and then 20 minutes in it's basically like 1 or 2 seconds off. Now, 2 ways to fix it: either select worse quality or select better quality, but delete the audio first, then publish the video, and then sync then put together the audio and the video in a different program, which is a bit of a pain, but I usually just set lower quality and it still looks fine. Like you can set it around here and it still looks perfectly readable, fine. It doesn't look blurry, but it does prevent that bug from happening. And I do believe they fixed part of it in version, I think 0.7 something or 0.81 maybe, but it does still rarely sometimes happen, so just keep an eye for that. And one note, they can only create videos of 720p quality. That shouldn't really make much of a difference because it is a pure text video. You're not creating a stock footage video, so 720p is fine for text. But if that is something you care about, then EasyVSL 3.0 is not for you. Maybe the next version, 4.0, will be right for you. So that's it for video creation. Next up is the kinetic videos. Let's paste text and select kinetic. Now, as you can see, I actually bought the upsell for the kinetic videos, but I personally do not recommend it. And there's two reasons why I don't recommend it. One, you can't actually change the design of the kinetic template. So it might be fine if you're creating like a 1-minute video, yes. But if you're creating anything longer than even 30 seconds to 1 minute, this is going to get way too repetitive for any viewer to actually comprehend or enjoy the text. And two, let's say I select, for example, this template, which, as you can see, the preview kind of broke a little bit. Or let's see, maybe this one. I want to select one that has different colors in it. I think this one has different colors in it. Yes, it does. So let's select this one, press next, and let me just paste in the entire thing once again. I'm going to select some different things, and you can see here you have to add the slide marks manually. There is no way to just automatically add slide marks because it's a weird way of doing it. So I'm just going to add one here and maybe add one here. Whoops, add one here and then here. And I'm just doing this to demonstrate to you real quick what it looks like. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be ideal. And especially because you'll see what it looks like in a second. That should be enough. I'm just gonna add some more here so you can see how different lengths of text work with it. And there you go. That should be fine. I'm just gonna delete everything under this because I'm not gonna do the actual voiceover with this because you already know how that works. So let's just do that. Sure. Then I'm gonna press next. And it's going to say some sentences are too long to put in an individual phrase or slide. If you proceed, we'll automatically break them up and move them to the text to a new phrase or slide. As you can see, this is pretty much the entire, like every single sentence is a little too long. So I press continue and it gets real short. Now it's not too bad. It broke them up in a reasonable manner. Not too bad, but it's still not ideal. Let's put it that way, right? Progressing at the gym at all, it seemed as if nothing was working and it didn't matter how hard I lifted, how much I ate, or what supplements I took. Let's see how this looks. That's a little bit bright, so if that hurt your eyes, forgive me, that hurt my eyes a little bit too. Now this looks cool, right? Have you ever had problems reaching your goals, even though you were working harder than ever? A couple years ago, I wasn't once. But then this happens, right? When you're editing, it kind of glitches. These slides glitch, weird things happen. I mean, you can edit the text, but you can make the text bold. You can't change the background. You can't change anything, right? Basically, Kinetic's theme, what you see is what you get. So then it's not going to be perfect, and it's going to be quite annoying looking at the same kind of repeatable thing over and over unless the video is short. So let me just show you what it looks like just so you, I am gonna need to sync the audio to this, aren't I? I'm going to record an audio real quick and then I'll be back. All right, so as you can see, I recorded this new audio right here. Have you ever had problems reaching your... So I'm just going to import it. And then I'm going to auto speech recognition for English. I don't know why the default is Chinese Mandarin right now. And this should be pretty quick because it is I think 30 or 45 second audio. So let's just see how long this takes. But basically, I don't recommend using the Kinetic template. I don't recommend purchasing the upsell for that. It is not worth it. But the program itself, is it worth it? My answer is a resounding yes, but to a select group of people. All right, so let's see. It has synced it, so let's see what it looks like. Have you ever had problems reaching your goals even though you were working harder than ever? A
couple years ago, I wasn't progressing the gym at all. It seemed as if nothing was working, and it didn't matter how hard I lifted.
Now, it is a little bit laggy, as you can see. It's not perfect, but if you actually look at the transitions, they're pretty cool. So if you want to create really short videos, really short VSLs, I guess the Kinetic Templates could work, but they're very limiting in, how they actually look. So you can't really keep using them over and over because people are going to get really tired and fatigued of them. But anyway, is EasyVSL itself worth it? Let's take a look at the pricing real quick and see what it's like. All right, so this is their homepage, and if we go here, you can see that their pricing is either 1, pay $97 right now, pay $9.99 per month, or 2, pay $197 per year, which is normally about $300 per year. Now, this is a lot cheaper than Vidnami's plan. Vidnami is, they don't have a pay up, they just have a $49 per month option, which sometimes they have discounts of 40%. And if you don't know what Vidnami is, check out the link in the description below because you might like Vidnami more than EasyVSL depending on what you need to do. But it is cheaper than Vidnami because Vidnami is, I think, $397 per year or $49 per month without discounts, and then like $297 with a discount or $29 per month with a very big discount. But is it worth it, right? Paying $97 and then $10 per month. It depends on what videos you're looking to create. If you're looking to create any kind of videos fast, video sales letters where you need to split test a lot of different hooks, a lot of different leads, a lot of different images, techniques, audios, speakers, whatever, then EasyVSL is more than worth it. Even if you need to create, let's say, even if you create 4 videos a month or even 1 video a month with 3 different variations for the start, or even just 1 video a month in general, if you think about the time it will save you to create that video, is your time worth more than $10 per hour? Because I can create a 6,000 word VSL in EasyVSL in about an hour and a half at most, and that's with a lot of editing, and that's with doing some voiceover work, etc. Now, it might take you a little longer than that because I've already been doing it for about, I think, a year and a half, just a year and a half, but you'll get faster. And is saving that time really worth the $10 per month? Because the $97 per month, if you start using EasyVSL, you're probably not going to stop using it because you're going to be so used to it and you're going to like it so much. So at that point, this gets absorbed into this cost, right? Because then if you use it for a year, this ends up being about, I think, $6 extra a month. And then this ends up being 6 or 7, and this ends up being 9. So the total price ends up being $17 per month. If you use it for 2 years, the price ends up being, basically gets closer and closer to $10 per month. And if you're like any internet marketer I know, let's see, Russell Brunson, Ben Atkins, Mark Ling. Russell Brunson's probably the one you're going to know the best. But these are VSLs you can create for YouTube. You can create for landing pages. You can create for upsell pages. And you can create them super fast. So it's really about the time. So in my opinion, this is more than worth it. And the yearly plan, it could be worth it if you're really trying to save money. But what I've known people to do is for some reason, people buy this plan, pay $10 per month, create like a bunch of VSLs, test them, and then if their offer is dialed in and they don't need to create another VSL for like 5 or 6 months, they cancel it and then rebuy this plan once again. Now, I don't know about you, I'd probably just buy this, but if you don't want to buy either of them, then check out Vidnami. Now, going back to the actual program, right, taking a look at what videos most people are going to create, it is going to be these text-based videos, kind of please make sure your sound is on, or if you feel tired and low on energy. These are all tests I did at the beginning. All of these right here are the actual real VSLs I've done. So I don't want to click on all of them, any of them, because some of them are kind of client protected, client offers that are probably still working for a lot of them, and I don't really want to share things that are working. I don't want to reveal any trade secrets, put it that way. But I would say, worst case scenario, they do have a free trial. So you try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, just ask for your money back and that's it. But keep in mind, don't buy the Kinetic Templates upsell. Don't buy the agency upsell. You're not going to need that. Just get the program, get the fee, pay the monthly fee or whatever, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you're looking to create more advanced VSLs, like stock footage VSLs or more, let's put it this way, more beautiful looking VSLs, then another tool might be a better fit for you. That tool is called Vidnami, and you can go on their website. But if you're thinking of buying Vidnami, I recommend checking out the link in the description below, reading my review, and checking out the discount, because there's a permanent discount I can offer you for Vidnami that's 25% off. And sometimes on the website, there will also be a 40% discount. That's like a once every 4 or 5 months discount. But if it's on my website, it is available. And as you can see, they allow you to create more stock footage and more kind of high quality VSLs in a way, right? Social media VSLs for Instagram, just course videos, Facebook ads, general sales videos, e-com ads, and just very, very recently, they've also added vertical videos. It's not even on their sales page yet because it is so recent. They just added this 24 hours before I'm recording this video. So it's not still on the page, but you can record videos for Instagram stories and videos for TikTok or Snapchat. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description below for Vidnami. Otherwise, you can get EasyVSL using the link in the description, or check out the link in the description. Once again, a lot of links in the description to see if EasyVSL currently has any discounts. Other than that, if you have any questions about EasyVSL, how to use it, why I like it or why I used to hate it, because I did used to hate the program. I first got it and I felt like I wasted my money, but then I ended up creating 100 something videos with it. And now it's one of my top choices, right? I use Vidnami for more, I guess, professional or beautiful videos, and I use EasyVSL when a client or I need to really test something really, really quickly, because if a plain text version works, then we know that a more beautiful version might work even better. But if a plain text version doesn't work, a more beautiful version, more beautiful video is probably not going to work for most niches. So there's that. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe, like, comment, you know the deal, and I'll see you